Right, when talking about management of winter feeds, it's really important, of course, get the bigger picture. It's crucial to have knowledge on your feed position with regard to pasture covers and stock condition in autumn. We're talking to Josh Verhoek, who is from the Science Extension team with Ballance Agri-Nutrients. Great to have you on the show, Josh. Do you know how much feed you're likely to take into winter, and what tools have you available for manipulating these factors?
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. So really from a bigger picture point of view, so by the time autumn rolls around, it's really important to consider how much feed you've got on hand, and not just feed, but the importance of condition of stock. It's a good time to assess that, and it doesn't matter whether you're actually running cows, sheep, cattle. The principles are all the same. So having enough grass plus or minus supplements is quite crucial, and in the case of ewes, for example, for mating in autumn, has big benefits. Carrying enough feed into those winter months, obviously, for just maintenance feeding of stock, but also being able to increase those feed allocations to the animals that are underweight. So that's the basis of the first thinking.
Hopefully, as farmers, we've done that. What are some of the essentials we should be looking at and providing for them outside the feed?
In practice, how it actually works is, so you essentially think of it like this. So once you reach that autumn time, your focus effectively shifts from the current season you're in to looking forward to the next one in terms of the pasture cover and stock condition that you've got. So what that does, it gives you time to increase the pasture availability or reduce the demand before the winter actually arrives. So by looking forward, you essentially are choosing to maximise the production the following year, and therefore any production you get in the current season is actually a bonus. By not really addressing those things, you can compromise calf or lamb birth weights, milk production from the cow and the ewe, and those subsequent daily weight gains.
So, Josh, in practice, how does this thinking actually work?
So what you essentially do is you think of it like this. So once the autumn, once you reach autumn, your focus shifts from the current season to the next one by looking at those pasture covers and stock conditions. So what that does, it gives you time to increase either your pasture available or reduce the demand before winter arrives. So by looking forward like that, you're choosing to maximise the production of the following year, and any additional production from the current season is a bonus. So, by not sort of addressing those two things, which are quite critical, you can often compromise, obviously, lamb and calf birth weights, milk production from both the cow or the ewe, and those subsequent daily weight gains.
And the benefits of doing this coming out the other end of winter?
Yeah, so the benefits are many, and starting to significantly improve conception during that time of tupping, because that's really when you're making those decisions for ewes. More lambs and calves sitting in the ground, and increased survivability is absolutely key. That can be observed. Higher milk production, obviously, from the maternal animal, which leads to higher growth rates. So, in the case of fattening, getting stock to heavier weights and being able to sell them earlier is massively beneficial, and meeting those higher price schedules and having the feed available to stock that actually remain on the farm is quite critical. So from a milking animal's point of view, higher peak lactation is obviously hugely valuable.
Okay, Josh, if there is a farmer out there that thinks, hell, I haven't quite got it right, what are some of the tools in around either pasture growth or cover and stock conditions? What can he do?
So there's a few simple things to be thinking about. So simple things like going out and actually doing a few pasture measurements, either with a plate meter or quite simply using sward sticks, is a nice way of gauging where things are at. In the case of stock, we emphasise carrying out body condition scoring rather than just looking at their live weight alone. So getting the hand on your animals. And to help both those factors from our point of view, we've got nitrogen fertiliser in autumn to help increase the amount of feed on hand to actually take into those winter months. So appropriately using it, it's perfectly doable to work through those numbers on response rates to nitrogen and the resulting production from that. So from our point of view, used tactically, it can be the difference between a good and a great season.
Josh, just to wrap up, most places around the country have had plenty of moisture. I know in Canterbury we've got plenty of feed too. Are there any areas in particular that you know of that are struggling for feed and stock condition at this point?
Most places, to be honest, that we're talking with have a huge amount of feed on hand. A lot of the reports we're getting from those areas and the Lower North Island as well is there's a huge amount of feed on hand, which is quite unusual. We spoke earlier about the fact that the winter is actually, it's really hitting now. It's starting to bite, a lot of moisture and frost starting to appear around the place. But it's making sure those high covers, which we're seeing right now, don't suddenly disappear before our eyes, and careful management of that becomes quite key. So certainly seeing all around the place plenty of feed on hand at this point.
That is Josh Verhoek out of Fielding from the Ballance Agri-Nutrients Science Extension team. Great to have Josh on the show with us there.
Hey, Hamish, what's your favourite winter feed for yourself? Good winter tucker.
Good winter tucker. Okay, I'll tell
She
you
would
what.
be Swedes.
I tell you what,
Why not?
Swedes with a lot of like my grandmother used to give me Swedes with a lot of butter and pepper, and things hit rock bottom when I started putting that Swede over the back of the couch because I refused to eat it. Yeah.
Do you know that I've told you before,
bugger.
Auckland is weird.
Auckland is weird.
I mean,
Half of our audience alienated.
I love you for your uniqueness, Auckland.
Yes, exactly.
Burnt broccoli, $18 on the menu.
Oh, as a
No,
little,
no, no,
as a little
Brussels
side
sprouts.
plate. A little
Yeah.
side plate.
What?
No, my favourite, if you're answering the question coming back to is like roast cucumber. This week, for 3 nights in a row, I had roast cucumber, cauliflower and white sauce, beef, pretty well cooked with gravy poured all over it. There you go.
See,
am I showing signs of that?
if you ask my kids when they were younger, when they 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and they had to come out with me shift breaks all day and every day, their treat was to have a turnip
A turnip.
for morning tea, lunch and afternoon tea. Hey, listen kids, you only get it for 2 or 3 months a year, so enjoy it.
Turnip.
They hate it.
You miserable bugger.
What my dad used to cook for me that I hated was liver and kidney stew.
Oh, beautiful. Liver and kidneys. Some of the nice... Hey, stop gagging.
We'd have the thing where we'd come home from school and we'd know either mum or dad was there. If it was mum, it was like toffee pops. If it was dad, it was like pea soup.
So, Sarah,
Yeah.
you weren't one of these kids that got the head of the home kill, like the sheep, and had to go and see how many feeds you could get out of it? Yeah, the
I
cheek,
can
the
understand why
bone,
Duke's turned
dear.
out the way he
Sweetbreads.
has.
Yeah, exactly. The turnip has had an effect. Still, it could be quite good when it comes to rowing, I might add. Yeah. Okay, this is Hamish Mackay, Sarah Perriam, Richard Lowe, Rural Exchange.
Radio Live Rural Exchange.